Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh. Today we're out here to talk about the Arken EP5 7-35 Gen 2, but this is going to be a little bit different because you're going to notice that I don't have any discount codes for Arken. I don't do affiliate sales for them or anybody else, and I honestly don't really care if you do or you don't buy this. This makes me absolutely no money. So we're gonna get into the changes. We're gonna talk about if I think this is a good buy in 2026 and a few things that I absolutely hate about these style of scopes. And you'll have to decide for yourself if those things are reasons for you to buy or not buy the scope. So let's get into it. So now that we have this on the bench, first things first, they did send this to me for review. Trust me, that has no bearing at all on what I'm going to say. An Arken optic or having one sent to me is not enough to sway my opinion. Now, I do think that overall that these are very solid buys for the money. I think the retail is like $750. If you've already been on YouTube in the last week, I'm sure you're gonna see all the affiliate guys out with their codes. You can probably get this in the $600 price range. And honestly, for the 7-35, I think it gives you a lot for what you're paying for. Now, if you're not gonna buy a Chinese scope, just turn it off now, go to the next one. This is a Chinese scope. It has Japanese glass, and that just means the glass is sourced from Japan. And it doesn't mean a lot in the world of scopes, you know, the coatings and those things, but it is good glass, and I think you see that. We're looking at 50 yards right now. One thing we're gonna talk about right off the rip is the changes, because if you're just looking to find out what the changes are, well, here you go. If you're looking there, and let me get this a little bit better in focus, 2/10 subtension is what a lot of guys complained about. They had like a 1/2 mil reticle before. Doesn't work really good for precision shooting. This reticle will work really well for precision shooting. So they've changed the reticle, Christmas tree style reticle. I think it's a very solid, very usable reticle. And I think, and I'm only saying I think because I haven't paid that much attention, but from what I remember, this illumination is not only different, it's better. And I'll have to pull out an older one to verify that. I'll let you know if that's not true. But this is like a whole reticle illumination. Before it was just the little lines. And to me, it looks better now. Let me get this in something. There you go. It's a little bit easier for you guys to see. But yeah, we've got better illumination and, you know, kind of better, bigger illumination. See the mill marks even down as we get down on the Christmas tree. They got illumination, so not, you know, 100% of the reticle, but a lot more than it used to be, and something that I think is actually usable. But for the meat and potatoes of this, that's what you get. We're gonna shoot a little bit here, and I'll try and actually block this. I'm gonna shoot with my opposite hand, block out some of that. But this is a very usable scope, and I'm just blocking out the light coming in through the back there. And for 600 bucks, it's gonna be pretty tough to beat. All right, we'll get behind this, we'll do some holdovers. But another important thing to note is that the MSRP is 750 bucks. So I think a lot of guys who are looking at optics like this, like the Arken EP5, especially 7-35 in the precision rimfire world, are trying to meet like a base or production class thing. So 750 bucks, they bumped up those limits year after year. I think you can pair this with the right rifle and have a setup that makes a lot of sense for that. Let's see here. Let's do some holdovers. I'm gonna have to come in a little bit. I'm trying to keep an eye on what you guys are seeing. And then we'll go over to the controls and some of those pet peeves that I have. We're gonna go 1.7-ish. Yeah, not a problem there. But like I said, the glass is definitely usable. Especially you're shooting like NRL out to 100 yards, which is what we're shooting here. I mean, it is plenty usable. Let's quickly go over kind of the controls, how it feels. Magnification on this, pretty smooth. It's not really stiff. A lot of times on the cheaper optics, you're gonna see this be really stiff. I don't find that to be the case. Eye-box, let's pull in here. The image is gonna suffer. Let me go ahead and parallax this to 400 yards, or try to, so you guys can see. I'm gonna see what we got on eye-box here. If it's tight, it's a little tight, but not bad. Precision rifle, totally usable. Like, I'm not having a hard time It's not looking really crazy. So eye box, I would say that this is probably better than the Arkens that I've seen before. It's pretty forgiving on the eye box. Again, magnification, really smooth. The parallax here, of course, this is making it look harder because I'm working around the trigger cam. Parallax, yeah, it's really smooth too. It's marked. On-off steps in the illumination, I like that. It's stiff, but that's good. And of course the clicks, you know, everybody's kind of familiar with the clicks, just like the other Arkens. Good clicks, plenty usable, tactile, a hair of backlash in there, just a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, it's got as good of turrets as anything, $1,500 and below. They've always done a good job with the turrets, but let's get into some of the things I dislike. And I will caveat that by saying, you know, you get for that $600 something street price, you're getting the sunshade, you're getting a lot of things. You're getting some things that aren't even included on some really premium optics. Now, that's the double-edged sword, because when they throw in a bunch of extras like that, you're wondering, well, how much, you know, of this is taking the hit to provide all that other stuff. But honestly, for 600 something bucks, I don't think you really got to worry about it. I kind of find that this seems to be a pretty good bargain. We'll kind of get in on this tree. We'll look at some detail real quick while we talk about something I really dislike. So keep in mind, you know, we're looking at this through the trigger cam, and it is a very miragey hot day, but level of detail, pretty nice, even at max magnification. This is grading it for the 600 bucks. I mean, I think you're getting quite a bit. I'll show you this in B-roll, but one of the things I absolutely hate about these style of optics, and I'm talking about Chinese optics all across the board, there is this little dingus thing here at the bottom of the scope, and I can never get these in a one-piece mount the way I want to mount them, because that little dingus, which I'm told is part of like a spring for something for the erector assembly, it's needed. It's in the way. I think it must be a cheaper way of doing it, because you don't see this on more premium Japanese optics, but it's in the way of one-piece mounts. I like to run one-piece mounts. I don't like to run rings, but when I run these scopes, more often than not, I gotta run rings, because you just can't get this where you need it to be on a one-piece mount. You end up having it, if you can even get it on there, it's gotta be dead in the middle where there's a little bit of a recess. So I don't like that, because that thing is just in the way. On rings, not a big deal, but I don't like rings. Brass tacks, that's what I think they've changed. That's about the only thing I think they've changed, which I will say they're good changes. They've made a much, much more usable reticle here. The illumination is better. I think this is going to work a lot better for guys who are shooting NRL 22, even PRS 22 on a budget, guys who want to shoot base and production class. I think the changes are for the better. For 600 something bucks, I still think you're going to be hard pressed to find something else that's going to give you all the features. Illumination, 7 to 35. Definitely good enough glass to do what you need to do. Will this go up against, you know, the real Japanese premium scopes? No, but a lot of guys don't need that, and they're not wanting to spend $1,500 to $5,000 on an optic. I get it. If you're not looking to spend that much money, but you want something serious, I would consider this a serious optic at $600. That's still a lot of money for a lot of people, but you're getting the good clicks, the good feel. The trade-off is it is a Chinese optic. You got the little dingus down there I hate. It is going to be bigger, heavier, bulkier than scopes, you know, similar to it. You know, that's just the name of the game. There is no free lunch in anything, especially in glass and optics. So if you get a low price point optics, there's give and takes. Just understand what they are, and if it works for you, great. Reap those benefits, get yourself something on a rifle, and most importantly, go out there and freaking shoot and have some fun. And if they re-release anything else, we'll be looking at it too. Again, I don't get any money out of this. I don't make a dime. If you do or you don't buy this, totally up to you. And I like the fact that they sent me these and I don't have to promise them anything. If this thing was a piece of junk and I hated it for 600 bucks, that's what this video would have been. So thanks guys, I appreciate you. Catch you on the next one.